I believe everybody's here.
Nope, there are several witnesses listed. I'm going to give them a few more minutes to show up
Oh, excuse me, for what?
for this case.
It's an
Were you not
appeal.
paying attention to the people that were called?
You don't call people on an appeal, sir.
Oh,
Why didn't you argue that in the case?
It's an appeal. I don't have to argue it.
I believe
Standard
that's just
procedure.
how, appeals are
That's how an
ran.
appeal works.
So, Your Honor, we do have a few minutes.
Yep.
Okay.
no, Angel wasn't there on scene when.
Mr. Saab,
Oh yeah, sorry.
we talked for a couple minutes. That fucking dickhead in there really pisses me off.
Me too. Me
I hope
too.
I don't go on tilt in there. I mean, the thing hasn't even started yet, and he's already fucking got his
Peckering
panties
and
up
bitching.
a
Yeah,
knot
yeah,
about
yeah.
Something. Oh, I don't appeal. There's no witnesses. Yeah, well, it's a little different in this county. This was never heard in court to begin with. So, like, how are we supposed to use evidence and testimony from a prior case when there was not a prior case?
Correct. So I'm
Arguing
thinking,
semantics.
let's say somehow we win. Okay, this appeal. How soon can we start on the lawsuit?
If we win, I'll just file the lawsuit tonight. Honestly, I mean, it's that simple. Once we win, any lawsuit is going to be won pretty much through summary judgment.
Oh, okay, perfect. Sounds good. And what do you think our chances of winning
It'd be
tonight?
a lot better if we had Buddha here.
Right, right. Yeah, I
But
told
if we're
him,
not going
but
to be allowed to even
he had something come
have
up in
any witness
emergency.
testimony, then yeah, no, I understand that. It's just, I mean, we might not even get a chance to have any witnesses if this prosecutor has his way, which will kinda
Right.
make this whole thing a waste
I
of
mean,
time.
can we just attack the cops at that point, since they're gonna be testifying, right?
I mean, if I'm the only person who's going to be able to give a statement, then I'll just say, like, you were sat there in a car. You took fire and you were hit. Then, because you drove off after being shot, you were charged with obstruction. You did nothing to obstruct the investigation. You were parked behind at a safe distance. A police situation turned into a gunfight. Guy jumped in your car. You did not drive towards him. You did not, offer assistance in any way. You simply jumped into your car. There's no way for you to have any prior association with the unidentified person unless they were making assumptions. So based on pure assumption, pure speculation, they decided that you deserved to die and to be shot repeatedly until they were pretty sure you were dead for
Absolutely.
being parked a safe distance behind a dangerous situation.
That's
basically.
right. That's exactly what happened.
So it's all a bunch of bullshit. It's all a bunch of bullshit. But we'll see what happens in there, because that fucking dickhole is already starting.
Yep. Yeah, I don't like that DA at all, man. Pisses me off. Especially his face. He's got that punchable face. I just want to knock it down.
Everybody's here. It's not bear. All right. If I keep imitating him, I'm not going to be able to deliver any remarks in court. So let's.
You got this, Murphy. I believe in you, alright?
I'll at least give a hell of a speech, if nothing else.
All right, so at this point in time, we calling this court into session. This is the appeal for Mr. Saab. He is not. Sorry. Let's keep any outbursts down to a minimum. If any outbursts happen during this court case, we will be charged with contempt immediately. There will be no warnings. Does everybody understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
So with that being, thank you, Mr. Corleone. So with that being said, during this case, Mr. Saab will be represented by Mr. Braun, and the ADA's office representatives will be Mr. Savage and Miss West. I'm going to start this off by reading the statement of claim and what Mr. Saab is wanting out of this is, and then as soon as that happens, we will get to Mr. Braun's side, and then we will get to the ADA side, and after that, I will go back. We'll determine what's going to happen, and we'll go from there. Does everybody understand?
Yes,
Tony's
Your Honor.
smoking. What the fuck?
Mr. Savage?
Yes.
Are you with us?
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
here.
Okay, just making sure.
He's definitely
on
in contempt of court.
April 16th, 2019, Mr. Braun's client, Al Saab, alleges he was falsely charged with obstruction of justice in order to justify the level of force used against him by law enforcement when an unidentified suspect evading police on foot jumped into the bed of my client's pickup truck as he was stopped at a safe distance away from the situation, which had escalated into a shootout. My client was unarmed, had committed no crimes, and was not hindering or obstructing efforts of law enforcement in any way whatsoever when he was ruthlessly gunned down by officers and arrested. At this point in time, Mr. Saab is asking to have the charge of obstruction of justice removed from his record and the fine of $1,500 to be refunded back to him. If anybody in the gallery or the officers or anybody else would like to watch as we go along with the court case, any and all evidence that will be brought forward will be on the government website under the DOJ section and under the case labeled Appeal Al Saab. With that being said, Mr. Braun, would you like to start off with an opening statement?
There's no opening
sure.
statements during appeals, Your Honor.
Your
Would
Honor,
you
with
like
all
to
due
start
respect, the way appeals work in this county is not the same as in other counties. There is no prior court case to draw from. We
Exactly.
can't just
That's why
sit
I'm
here and
asking
look
you
at
to go ahead and
information.
Yeah, go
Well,
ahead.
I'm
That's why
concerned with
asking
that
you-
because nowhere in the court guidelines is that stated.
Okay, order. Stop. Knock it off, guys. We're gonna
Knock it
go
off. I'm asking
how
a
I want to
question.
do. This is my case, and we're gonna do it how I want to do it. Mr. Braun,
Well,
start
that's
with your
not
statement.
how legal things
Mr.
work.
Savage, stop.
Yes, yes.
I said
Stop
order.
what?
Yes,
Stop
go ahead.
interrupting
Ask
me.
me
Throw
how
him
the
out.
appeal works.
Stop,
I need
Mr.
to know how the
Savage.
procedure works.
Well, that's good for
Your
you.
Honor.
That's not how this is gonna happen. I'm asking you to
My
stop,
Honor.
please. Yeah,
I
make sure
can't
you're
interject.
speaking loud. Yeah, go ahead.
Since when did this courtroom allow smoking inside?
Mr. Corleone, please put out the cigarette.
Yes, sir. Sorry, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Tony, what the
With
fuck?
that being said, as far as I'm
Well-
aware, and nobody has told me any different, and we've already gone with the witnesses thing that you've given, because I can understand how that works now. But at this point in time, I have not seen a straight appeal like this before without it being a bench trial, okay? So at
Well,
this
bench
point in time,
trial is
it's going to go on
something
like
totally different.
it's going to go on. Stop, Mr. Savage. Please stop interrupting me. This is like the 6th time you've done it in less than 5 minutes.
Throw it
Okay?
out.
Well, it
Throw
seems
it
to
out.
be that there's a little confusion here. I got
Yeah,
confused
well,
on
you
how
let
this
me
process
talk,
works.
then it wouldn't be so confusing. Stop interrupting me,
Well-
please. Mr. Braun, go on with your opening statement. This is going to go on as a normal court case, and it's going to go from there.
Wait. How's this going to go on a normal court case? It's an appeal. There seems
I
to be
have-
Because he's
that will-
appealing it.
I have grave
I have
concerns
no good
about
faith
the
and
way this
belief that I
procedure's
will
being
not be
handled right now.
constantly interrupted if I give my opening remarks right now.
Yes,
Well,
I
I'm
am
trying
on
to
the
sort
same
this
boat.
out. I have concerns here as a district attorney. That we're not going to handle this in the proper format of
Come on,
California's
Bison.
appellate courts.
Throw it out. Throw him out.
And we
Easy
have no
win.
documentation telling us how we're going to handle these things, that anything can happen when we're holding officers to the teeth of the law and the Fourth Amendment and stuff. So yes, I am concerned
And
about
stuff.
the judicial procedure.
Mr. Braun,
If
seeing
I may.
as he is going to keep interrupting me, would you like a sidebar?
I would like a sidebar.
Okay.
Yes. That's right. That's right.
Mr. Savage, you're allowed to come to a sidebar if you wish.
Your Honors, you know exactly how the justice system works in this city. People get booked, people get charged, people get convicted and told to appeal. The appeal process in this county is designed to allow people to try their cases after the fact if they feel like they've been unjustly charged. That includes
that's not
witness
what was filed
testimony, evidence, anything that needs to be reviewed or stated for the record in a court of law that has not yet been admitted in a court of law because of the unique way things work in this city. That is why cops say, appeal it. File a lawsuit after the fact. I don't care. Going to jail. That is what this is for. If we come here and we're not allowed to have anybody speak on the record or put evidence into examination, then there is no point to having any of us here, ever. We can all go home and retire. You got it, Savage?
It sounds like you're just being lazy.
Mr. Savage, he's not being lazy. That's
I got nothing
not
to say to
how
this
the
man.
appeal process works here. I get what you're saying when you said appeal, there's no witnesses, which you would be correct. But in this city, it is done
I am
different.
correct.
These
Thank you.
people have not had a fair trial. They have been condemned by a police officer that says they're guilty even if they think they're not. It is done
so,
different
let
here,
me-
and you're trying to play semantics, and it's not going to work. So if you would
No, I
like
am
to
not
have
playing
this trial,
semantics.
don't interrupt me. If you would like to have this trial without any witnesses, then fine. Let's see how that goes for you. We will have the trial.
No, what I asked for was to move this into trial. It was denied by Judge Bison, and here we are in appeal, so we would skip this process and we do it the proper way. But it was denied by Judge Bison. If he didn't understand what he was doing, that's not my fault.
The appeal is the trial.
The appeal is not a trial. An appeal is to see if the lower court
I
did
get
it
what you're
correctly or fine
saying
against
about an
the cops
appeal
are the
and
lower
what it
court at this
is,
point.
but in this city, it is different.
Well, I'm not from this city. I was asked to take this. There's no documentation in your guidelines, and that's not my fault, and that's my argument today. So if we want to
And
move
it's not
this
any
to
of our
trial,
fault. You didn't bring this up in the middle of discovery.
I asked for.
bringing it up
I
now.
actually did. I motioned to change venues. I did bring it up. I was told not to contact the judge no more privately, so I just motioned to change venues.
From what I see, in you asked to change the venue to a grand jury of judges, which in a actual appeal in other cities, it isn't ruled by one judge; it's ruled by a panel of judges, which would be the exact same thing.
Yeah. So the way I seen the court guidelines is that you get the 3 judges or whatever it is. So I just didn't even really know how to word it when I put it in. But that was the best I could come up with at the time. But yes, if we went to trial, I would think all the judges would be there for an appeal like this.
No,
That was the whole point.
you
of
know
changing
how
the
this
venue.
works. You're trying to play semantics. If you would like to go forward
No,
with the
I don't know
case,
how this works. I'm not from here.
well,
I was
if you
cast
would
to
like
come
to
here about a
go
month ago and
forward with,
help
if you would like to go forward with this case without any witnesses on your side, then fine. We will do it that way.
It's not a case, it's an appeal. You guys can choose to appeal and kick it into a case later. I don't care. But I'm just stating, obviously, you guys want to actually change the way things are done, then, make some guidelines for it. Like everything else has guidelines.
This is common
Appeals have
sense
0
stuff.
guidelines.
This is common
This is not
sense
common
stuff. In
sense
other
stuff.
counties, every single arrest, every single conviction comes with an arraignment, a fucking
They were arraigned by
the
the police
entire
officers.
due process. The entire due process system plays out. Whether it goes to a full trial or there's a plea deal, it goes through those steps. It does not go through those steps in this city.
Well, I'm also concerned with the fact that when you file this case,
usually
it's a
the
civil
judge.
case.
All right, if you're going to interrupt everything that I try to say to you, then I've got nothing further to say to you. And that extends beyond this hearing here today.
No, it would make it a whole new trial. That's what I was going for, was you would get a whole full trial in the proper way.
What you were trying to do is take away all of my witnesses and neutralize your witnesses and make it simply a matter of
witnesses?
this
I didn't
police
file any
report
Bill's muted,
and
man.
my opening and closing remarks.
I gave you what you requested. And this is the way an appellate court works is you would file a brief, which would be your statement of claim. I would file a brief, which in my case would be the FOIA report, because I wasn't there. And then we would go from there. Whatever Judge Bison rules, whatever Judge Bison ruled. And that's why I asked to move it to change it to the venues of the judges, so we could have a proper trial. It was denied, so I came here to do an appeal. Simple as that. No semantics or whatever you guys want to accuse. I just follow the rules of court. If you want to change the
Well,
way
this isn't
appeals
my
work
first
and say it
appeal.
automatically
I'm
kicks
sorry
into
if
a real
it's your
trial,
first
then
appeal, but I've done a
That's-
few of these before, and the way we do it here is a little different, but that's by necessity. Again, this man has never had a day in court for these charges. He has chosen to contest them after the fact.
at this point, he has his day in court, which is right now, and Judge Bison can look at the evidence that's being presented by you and myself and decide if he wants to move it into trial for court. I don't have an issue with that.
Judge
That's-
Bison
you know
can
what I-
do whatever he sees fit within his judicial powers. You don't get to tell him what he's
I'm
going to
not
do.
telling him. I'm saying this is where I stand on this matter. If he wants to look at this appeal, in my opinion, and look at the evidence that was brought forward and the fact that you're saying that whatever you're saying in your statement of claim, that's where we're at. The only evidence you offered was the incident report and officer testimony.
Okay,
Nothing
here's how
else
it's gonna
to
go.
support?
No more. I let you guys go between each other. Kind of figure something out on your own. But obviously, it's not going anywhere. So this is what's going to happen. This is going to proceed like any other court case would, regardless. Okay, I don't care what either of you have to say about it at this point. Don't interrupt me. I do not care what either of you have to say. This is going to go on like a normal court case. Everything's going to be allowed. There's going to be opening statements. There's going to be evidence. There's going to be testimonies, whatever you need to do like a normal court case. Both sides will get their turn, and then we will go and make a verdict from there. Does everybody understand?
And the state motions for continuance.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. No, denied. Because we're already here. I'm not continuing this.
What do you mean denied? Why would it be denied?
I'm
You know, I
denying
asked-
your motion for continuance.
All right, whatever. This is semantics
All
at this point.
So both of you guys go back to your stands. We're going to start this in the next 5 minutes. Everybody gets to take a breather.
What is the
Have a good night, boys.
incident report number for this case?
One second.
Hey, have a good night,
Oh,
Mr.
that-
Savage.
Good night.
What?
Oh shit!
Oh,
Sam,
shit!
You
He walked away.
oh shit!
What's happening, Murphy?
Sam fucking win, man, boy.
The ADA prick there's stormed off into the sunset.
So we won,
He's
right?
not getting his way. I don't know.
Oh my
That guy's a
god!
piece of work.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh. You talking about
Easy, Sam.
Savage? He's so fucking
Easy,
piece of
Sam.
shit.
Easy.
I fucking hate him.
Savage, yep.
I guess you could say he's a
Sam,
man-child
you win,
after all.
bud. You win, Sam. You
I
fucking
mean, he
win,
just,
Sam.
it was just his way or the highway.
Yeah?
You know, he thought
No
he thought he could,
compromise, right?
You know, decide everything for the judges.
Daryl.
That's Savage for you.
He's close to getting the case thrown out completely. The only reason Bison hasn't thrown this case out is because he wants to hear the case.
It's 5 something. Hang on.
This is
Did he
not my
just leave
case.
his own case?
I'm not prepared to present this, so if you would like me to take this over, I would request a continuance.
That'd be
on the
contempt of
grounds
court if you left the
I have
case.
no idea what the fuck just happened.
Make sure he hasn't left, okay? Just go check on it. Make sure he hasn't left.
Yeah, find that number for me.
If he does leave, he would be contempt of court.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, he's the
Trial.
one who left.
He left?
Yeah.
All right, it's 5790, I believe. Okay, here's the deal.
I also don't
Alright,
have
let
the
me-
vocal capabilities for court.
Yeah,
today.
let me talk to Judd real quick, excuse me, Coyote, and I'll be right back. Okay, Mr. Braun, I know this is taking forever. I'm really sorry. I got to deal with an issue,
I'm
and I'll
just
be
coming
right with
back
you.
here because she's back here. So I
Oh
don't know,
no, it's nothing important. Yeah, it's nothing
No,
important. We'll be right back. Why? Go ahead. Yeah, you're good. All right, so here's the deal. I'm not like he screwed this up. He's gonna leave in the middle of a court case. He's getting charged with contempt, and I'm not gonna let her take the fall for his mess ups, for him screwing her over.
Well,
Okay.
it's not really her
So-
case. It's his. So
Yeah, right. Which is why I'm not gonna grant a continuance. I'm not gonna let her take the fall for this. This is on him if they lose this case. So a continuance is not gonna be granted, and we're just gonna go forward with it. Okay.
Well, I mean, I think she said that if it does go forward, she's not prepared. So I think she's wanting to just rule in favor.
Right, and this will be all his fault. So
It will all be his
if she
fault.
loses, if the ADA office loses, this is on him.
Well, we need to ask her if she wants to pursue this case herself because we're having it now.
Alright.
If she doesn't, then charges are dropped.
Mr. Braun, Miss West, can you guys come back here one more time, please? All right, so here's the deal. Mr. Savage has apparently walked out, as you both know. He is not in the court island anymore. Correct? Is that right? Yeah. He's not in the county anymore. So with that being said, Miss West, this is how it's gonna go, okay? If you want to press this, that is up to you. If you want to do that. If you don't, and you want this to go on as usual, I will continue this case right now, and it'll be on him if the ADA fails to win this or take this case, okay? In the case that anything does happen, okay?
All right, what did you mean by press this, as opposed to continue?
I
Like,
mean,
what do you
as in she asked for a continuance because Mr. Savage just up and left, and she is not prepared for this whatsoever because he was the only one taking this case originally, and he didn't ask for any help from any of the other ADAs. And so, with that being said,
Okay.
if she wants to continue and take it off take it from him and do it herself, she asked for a continuance for 48 hours. I will grant that if she wants to do it. If she doesn't, and she doesn't want to pick up after his mess, then I'll be more than happy to go on with this case right now, and whatever happens in this case will be on him.
Okay. Let me speak to my client because we are down a witness. So a 48-hour
Well, I'm pretty sure
continuance
we're down
could
3
benefit
witnesses.
us.
So
Right. So I mean, a continuance could help the case. It's just a matter of if we're here and he wants to just do it right now. Let me
wait,
talk to
Mr. Braun. Mr. Braun, sheet, that's for you.
No, I do not. No, I do not, because Savage does not include those in his FOIA requests. Wait, no. Actually, hey, let me look at one more time. He did actually include it this time. 5790. All right, let's recess for a minute. I'm gonna go over this with Saab and see what he wants to do.
Yep, go ahead. You're good,
Because
Mr.
we
Braun.
are here, so we might as well continue. But I understand she's got a voice thing and is not prepared, and I am sympathetic to that.
Right.
Let me see what he wants to.
It is what it is.
Your Honor, I am gonna need to request that it be found out whether Savage told all these witnesses, these cop witnesses, not to bother turning up, because that is not gonna sit well with me if this does move forward or not. If he actually told them not to turn up because of the stunt he just pulled, then you know that's got to be reviewable in some way. Well, I mean, they ain't here.
Right. Okay. I was just making sure somebody didn't tell you, like in the courtroom, didn't tell you not to.
So those witnesses wasn't really requested by him. They were requested by the judge whenever he approved the case. So it's not up to him whether the witnesses not show up or not. It's up to the judge, and the judge has requested them to be here.
Right, but he's saying that he wants to make sure that the DA didn't go behind my back and tell him not to show up, like emails.
That would not be good if he did.
Correct, because with the stunt he just pulled and the fact that they're already, you know, aware that they're not needed here, I can only assume
Wait,
that.
what happened? Sorry, I was.
We're trying to determine if Savage told the witnesses not to turn up.
Oh.
Yeah, so we need to figure that out.
Yeah,
Miss
that's,
West.
Yes.
Please get a hold of, if you can, try to email Trooper Ripley and one of the other officers and see Trooper Ripley and Mr. Wolf, since they both said they'd be here, and ask them if they were told not to show up by the ADA.
Okay.
But as it is, I do believe my client wishes to proceed with the case we have today. He does not express any desire to postpone it another 2 days, even though it might improve our chances with more witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
So we're prepared to proceed with what we've got.
All right. So if you I'm sorry for all the delays and recesses, but if you're okay with it, we're gonna give her a minute to get in contact with them, figure out what they gotta say, and then we'll start. Okay.
I don't mind at all. I don't mind at all.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, because if he did that, then yeah.
My problem with that would be that those witnesses wasn't called for by Mr. Savage. They were called for by Mr. Braun.
Right.
That's borderline witness tampering at that point, if this is true.
Yeah, this is gonna be a big issue if that is true.
Honest. Okay, so Lieutenant Ripley said that he spoke to ADA Savage and he said I did not need to come.
Trooper Ripley said that?
Yeah. Said the same to DuPont and I believe Wolf. Wolf is in the midst of saying something to me. Well,
Okay. Mr. Braun, will you please come here? Can you go get Mr. Braun, please?
Mr. Braun. Okay, just be aware I was not made aware of any of this information.
Okay.
West, I apologize for all of this. I know this is not the day you were hoping to have, and I am sympathetic with that.
I just want to say that what I'm about to say, I had no involvement or knowledge of. Lieutenant Ripley just emailed me and said that he spoke to Savage and was told that he didn't need to be here, and that
That son of a bitch. I'm sorry, Your Honors.
the same was said to Officer Wolf and possibly Trooper DuPont. I haven't contacted her yet.
All right, that has got to be borderline tampering right there.
I would agree.
That is just not
that's
okay.
unacceptable in a courtroom.
The
If
judges will
witness is
handle it.
gonna be
We'll deal with it.
dismissed, okay.
Yep, it's not my realm, but I had a hunch that that's what went down, and we've confirmed it. Not the matter at bar. So, with that settled and sorted.
Buster, can I speak to you one moment?
Yeah, well, you need a few minutes, that's fine. But I'm prepared
Yeah.
to
Okay.
proceed.
So here's the deal. I'm gonna go talk to Mr. Coyote real quick. I do want to still hear your side so I can make a verdict. This is gonna go on like normal, but Miss West here is gonna stand as the ADA. I don't expect her to ace this or anything like that, since it was literally dropped in her lap less than 10 minutes ago. But I still want to go forward with this case today.
Lot, which is unfortunate right now.
Yep. So I'm going to go talk to him real quick, and then we're going to continue with everything. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Very good, Your Honor.
Oh.
Okay.
So since since there's evidence of witness tampering, if you went forward with the case, since those witnesses were asked to be here by Mr. Braun and not by the district attorney, and those witnesses are not here at this moment because of the district attorney, having this trial due without those witnesses here at all would be a mistrial because they were called upon by the defense. This case has to be dismissed. It has no other way. It can't be played out.
Okay.
All charges have to be dropped.
So I need to rule in favor of him then. Like all charges
absolutely.
will be removed and he'll be refunded.
Because those witnesses are called by Mr. Braun, and they're not here because of the district attorney. It wouldn't be fair.
Now, if they show up in the next 5 minutes, can we still go forward with it, or is it still going to be deemed a mistrial?
If you could get all those witnesses here in the next 5 minutes, then yeah, you could have the trial, but you cannot have it without those witnesses.
All right.
This feels really bad for you because I know you were kind of looking forward to this.
I just want a case, man.
I understand. Vinny paid off the DA. Oh shit. Okay, chat. See, here's the thing. Mr. Braun has a witness that's not here. He said he didn't have everyone here. That's fine because Mr. Braun's the one that called on that witness. If you look at Mr. Savage, he called no witnesses whatsoever on the government website. None. The only thing that he did was motion for a judge panel. That was it. So all these witnesses are for Mr. Braun.
I'm not going to hold any of the witnesses in contempt either. Somebody brought that up earlier, but I'm not going to do that.
It's not their fault. Even though they shouldn't be taking those. They should know that a DA wouldn't. Well, here's the thing. No one expects a DA to lie to them, right?
I feel more bad for Miss Sullivan and Miss West because now the DA's office looks a little corrupt from this.
It does, and then it's gonna be a lot worse for her to go to this trial. But it is what it is, right?
Oh, I'm calling a mistrial. There is no trial. I can't. Nobody's here. I can't do anything.
Okay, if you can't get them here, then they can't be tried because those are Mr. Braun's witnesses.
Yep.
And they've been tampered.
And we're 40 minutes past the start time of this case, so I'm calling it here. I'm not going to make anybody else stand here. All right. Is everybody with me? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Yep. Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. At this point in time, after some information has come to light, and there is a reason the witnesses are not here at this time, this trial will be deemed a mistrial on behalf of the DA's office. With that being said, I will be ruling in the favor of, since it was a mistrial and what has happened, Mr. Saab, you will have the charge removed and the fines refunded automatically. Mr. Corleone, can you keep the celebration until after I'm finished? Thank you. You will have the fine refunded and the charge removed from your profile, okay? After I do that, Mr. Braun and Miss West, I'd like to talk to you both. This is an issue that we will need to speak about privately after this, okay?
Of course, Your Honor.
Of course.
With that being
Thank
said,
you, Your
this
Honor.
case is closed. Mr. Saab, please come see me at this desk over here, and then we'll get you settled, okay?
You all right, Judge Bison? You're not saying much.
No, I'm not gonna lie. This doesn't make sense to me. I'm not understanding.
Okay, so what part aren't you understanding?
So I get that it was filed wrong, right? I get that. But I've seen cops been asked to be witnesses to both criminal and civil cases. So, like, what's the difference between that and this?
Well, as for a criminal case, they have to be there because they have that you as a DA, you would want them there so they can give their side of the story. Okay. Civil cases, if they don't show up, they don't show up, and then if they want to enter an official affidavit, right? And if they don't do that, then they can be held liable. It doesn't matter. There was going to be no case anyways, because the next thing I guarantee Savage would have done, if he hadn't done it already, is said this is bogus. This should never even be heard right now. This is not a civil case. Okay?
Okay, I got it now.
No one has to officially come to court. They can put in a sworn affidavit, sworn statement, sworn testimony, and if they don't, then they can be held liable. That's at the judge's discretion. But what happened here today is this should have never happened because it was listed as a civil, not a criminal appeal.
Okay, I'm following.
It was filed incorrectly by Mr. Braun. All right.
Yeah, right.
So
what you need to do, I asked you about that, and you told me to just take it to court like regular.
Right, because I didn't even look at that court case. I thought it was just an appeal. I didn't even look. You told me what it said, and I said, no, there's no change of a venue or anything like that, all right?
Okay.
It didn't make sense to me.
So,
it's a civil case. You can't argue criminal charges in a civil case, guys. Whoever's asking that in chat. Like, the DA walked out. How can you not rule for the other people? You can't. It's filed incorrectly. Right, but it was filed incorrectly.
So
that's the problem.
Takes me to ask why didn't he motion to dismiss it if he knew it was wrong instead of bringing it up in the middle of court?
Well, I think he wanted to prove a point, and he did. You can't argue.
He proved a point by shouting at another lawyer, constantly interrupting everybody, and then storming out of the middle of the court.
But did you stop him from doing that?
Yes, I told him multiple times, and he kept going.
Okay, what
else am I supposed to do? Punch him in the face?
No.
I can't do anything.
Did you have a bailiff there?
Who is there? I think Angel was off to the side.
Okay. She acting as a bailiff?
I believe so.
Okay.
Was she?
You could have had him placed in handcuffs and charged with contempt of court. You have the power to do that.
Okay.
You need to exercise that power when you deem it necessary. Okay. I think what he did was exactly what he tried to prove.
And what's that?
That case should have never gone through because it was listed as a civil, but it's an appeal of a criminal charge. And the fact that you dropped the charge in a civil case, I mean, there's not much you can do about it now, but that should have never happened either.